narrator why that, because I actually am a son of a preacher man. My father-in-law has passed away, but he was a pastor in Riverside. So good morning, Corona.
Good morning.
It's good to see you all. Look at somebody sitting next to you. Just look at him and say, I look good. Come on, tell him, I feel good. Now, I want you to say this with an attitude. Say, you're blessed just to be sitting next to me this morning. Come on, tell him. Listen, it is a total honor to be here. I only have a few moments with you, and we're late in the time, and we have other things to get to. So I don't want to be too long, but I want to leave you with just things from my heart. A couple of things that I do want to start off saying is that I am the author of a brand new book. Mike, I learned to say this from you. I'm the author of a brand new book, The Gift Called Leadership. If you were here, I believe I spoke maybe October of last year. I did an excerpt from it talking about it, but I do have the books available in the back. They're available for purchase $22.99, or if you're feeling generous, then $30 for you. I would appreciate any tips. I have kids. So The Gift Called Leadership, and the subtitle is How the Leader's Presence Empowers Others to Succeed. The whole focus of the book is just how do you show up? How do you communicate? How do you walk into the office with a presence that inspires people to want to be there? If you're a business owner, if you're a leader in an organization, an executive, people follow not just the job, they follow leaders. And when they leave, they don't leave the job, they usually leave leaders. They get tired of leadership. They get tired of being stuck. They get tired of not knowing where we're going. So I brought two books, and I wanted to give these two books away. Now, don't get mad. It's only two that I'm giving away. But if you really want one, you can buy one. But I'm going to give these two books away to supervisors, Spiegel. I wanted to donate. Phil, if you don't mind, let me ask it, you, sir. And then I thought of another leader in here who I've been able to connect with, and just a gentleman that I really admire. And Chief Newman, I just wanted to give this one to you. I wanted to thank you for your leadership. So make sure all Corona PD goes and buys the books. I want to talk about something that I shared again the last time, is the spirit of leadership. How many of you all were here the last time I shared that? The spirit of leadership. Got about 7 of you all, so that way nobody has ever heard this before. When it comes to leadership, one of the focuses of the book is talking about the spirit of leadership. The spirit of leadership. And I define the spirit of leadership simply as the convicting power that empowers us or moves us to say yes to the vision, to the work, and to the risk of making things remarkably better for others. The spirit of leadership, I'll say it again, it is the convicting power that moves us or even drives us to say yes to the vision, to the work, and to the risk of making things remarkably better for others. By the way, it just came to mind when I looked at Sam Atani, my good friend. He's actually featured in the book talking about making the sacrifice and making the risk, working in Bakersfield, I think it was, that he was working, and then all of a sudden moves here to Corona, moves his entire family to a city that he's never lived in. He doesn't know anyone here, and then assumes the CEO role during the best time of our history called COVID. And he has to build when there's nursing shortages and overload of patients. And so I just wanted to share that Sam Atani is actually featured in the book. And so you can read about his story there. So once again, the convicting power, the spirit of leadership is the convicting power that moves us to say yes. I want everybody in here just to say yes. Yes. Say it again. Yes. One more time from their heart, deep within you. Say yes. Yes. This is what you have to step up to. And I'm telling you, when you learn as business owners, and this is things I like to coach on and like to train on, when you learn to say yes, when you are moved by the convicting power, you ultimately move into a place where you don't have competition. While everyone is trying to beat the other person, you're not responding to how to beat the company, the business next door. You're simply responding to your yes. As a matter of fact, let me bring this into example. There was these gentlemen who were under British rule in America. And they decided one day, you know what? We don't like being under King Henry or whoever these guys are over there in Britain. We don't like that. Let's start our own country. I mean, who does that? When was the last time you've heard of anybody that said, let's start our own country? But George Washington, Hamilton, Ben Franklin, Adams got together and some others, and they said, let's build America. And as I said before, the spirit of leadership, the definition is the convicting power that moves us to say yes. I want you to say yes again. Say it. Yes. To the vision, to the work, and to the risk. This is what I want to focus on, the risk of making things remarkably better for others. Wouldn't you say that our founding fathers said yes? Would you say that they said yes to the vision, to the work, and to the risk? They had to go to war. They had to fight. Many died to make things remarkably better for others. My friends, this is leadership. This is leadership at the next level. This is true leadership. I can guarantee you, if I asked you, who do you admire? Who's a leader you admire? It wouldn't be because you admire them because of how much money they made. It would be because of their convicting power that moved them to say yes to the vision, to the work, and to the risk. There was another gentleman by the name of Abraham Lincoln. I don't know if you've heard of him. Abraham Lincoln, President of the United States, and he said yes to the convicting power when our country was split, when it was divided. He said yes. That's why we remember him. We don't compare Abraham Lincoln to other people. We compare other people to Abraham Lincoln. That's why I said before, when you learn as leaders, as business owners, as executives, to tap into your yes. Why am I doing this? What is the reason I'm in this business? When you do that, you cease from having competition. You don't wake up trying to figure out what the next person is doing down the street or the other business in your industry. All you do is respond to your yes. As a matter of fact, your competitors are now just places where you can get information and say, how are you doing that? I'm not competing with you because I'm responding to my yes. What's the reason I'm doing what I'm doing? The late President John F. Kennedy stood up before Congress on May 25th, 1961, and he said, it should be America's goal by the end of the decade to launch a man into space, land a man on the moon, and to bring him back to Earth safely. He responded to a vision. He said, yes, Dr. Martin Luther King, we're celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday on his birthday, actually, on this Monday. Who says, hey, let's put our life on the line to unify America? Who was in competition with them? Who can you compare to Dr. Martin Luther King? He was a man that stood on his own because simply he said, yes. I want you to say it again. Say yes. Yes. Now, as you're saying it over and over again, I want it to resonate with you of what you're saying yes to. What am I saying yes to? What am I answering to? What is the call that wakes me up in the morning and gets me going? I don't want to stand here and be braggadocious and be arrogant or bombastic, but I think the greater part of my success is not because I'm smart, it's not because I'm educated, it's not because I know more than anybody, because none of those things are quite true. I believe my greatest success, the reason that God has me here doing what I get to do every day, is simply because I have the audacity and the unmitigated goal to say yes. when everyone is going this way, when everyone is saying this is the way to do it, just simply to choose to say yes to what the convicting power is telling me to do. So a couple of things before I get out of here. I have a couple more minutes. When we're talking about saying yes to the vision, to the work, sometimes it's easy. It's easy to get to the table and get everybody excited about the vision. Oh yeah, high five. But then you start talking about the work that you have to do. We have to work hard, and then, But one thing I want to encourage you as leaders to do more of is to talk about the risk. If you want to increase retention, keeping the right people on the bus, as Jim Collins talks about, keeping the right people, talk more about the risk. Can you imagine Dr. King in his living room talking about, hey, we're getting ready to unite America. We're going to do this march. Oh, by the way, you could die. You might get some fire hoses sprayed on you. You might get bit by some dogs here, but who's in? Can you imagine, I want you to imagine with me, folks in the room here, the people in the room who said, heck no, I'm not with you, I'm not going to do that. But I want you to also imagine those that raised their hands and said yes. These are the people that you want on your team. The people who not only understand the risk, they not only understand the vision, they not only understand the work, but they also understand the risk of doing what we have to do to move our company, to move our organization, to move this initiative forward. Some of you are already thinking about, man, who are those people on my team? I'll close with this. It is important to make sure you have the right people on your team. I know we read a lot of books. But when I coach organizations and I talk about strategy and moving forward, inevitably I find that leaders cast vision in front of the very people they know they need to fire. I know this is a morbid way to end. But I don't want you to think about the vision without thinking about who you need to let go. Because when you say yes, you cannot be stopped by people who are on for the temporary joy of the upstart. You need people when it gets tough who say, I'll stay later, I'll come early. These are the people that will take your organization and your business to the next level. Listen, I'll be in the back. Please support me. Buy the book. It is a very good book. God bless you all. Thank you for your time.